TIL that the myth of the Seven Sisters told throughout the world is believed to have originated over 100,000 years ago, due to the movements of the constellation that it is based on. We acknowledge and pay our respects to the traditional owners and elders, both past and present, of all the indigenous groups mentioned in this paper. All indigenous material has been found in the public domain. I don't know that this is a source that I'd treat with the level of objective study that would warrant something as being considered factual instead of belief. The implications are that for 100k years of unbroken verbal communication, there is a singular concept that has little to no major variation. While it's possible, it doesn't strike me as probable. Even remotely. It could be possible there from 100k years ago, but it's improbable. They say that you can't see the seventh because two of the stars have moved too closely together to be able to distinguish them. What I'm thinking is that these stories are from 10-15k years ago when the stars were just a little further apart but also far less light pollution enabling them to be seen plainly. Title is pretty misleading. That the myth of the Seven Sisters told throughout the world. Told by the Greeks, and then the only other similar myth is from Aboriginal Australians, for whom it was just 7 women. Like virtually all other prominent stars formations, it was seen by cultures all around the world. But they don't share the same myth about 7 sisters at all. In the constellation of Cygnus, there lurks a mysterious, invisible force. The black hole of Cygnus X1. 6 stars of the Northern Cross. In mourning for their sister's loss. In a final flash of glory. Nevermore to grace the night Cygnus X1 Rush. X200b. Russian Sagan turned me onto astronomy. Barnaby Norris and I suggest an answer in a paper to be published by Springer early next year in a book titled Advancing Cultural Astronomy, a preprint for which is available here. A couple of scientists suggesting an answer is not the same certainty as Op's title. It seems extremely far-fetched to me. Is it possible the stories of the Seven Sisters and Orion are so old our ancestors were telling these stories to each other around campfires in Africa, 100,000 years ago? Could this be the oldest story in the world? That's the pseudoscientists asking the big questions. Proto-Pomonungan is only like 5,000 years old, and Pomonungan speakers have never been isolated. The Torres Strait has been navigable the entire time. The astronomers who are, to be fair, not ethnopoeticists are trying to solve a problem that does not exist. In the Indian cultural sphere, from India to Cambodia and maritime Southeast Asia, they are called the Kritika, the wives of the 7 sages, Saptarishi, which is a Big Dipper constellation. Interestingly, the Pleiades constellation is mentioned in Old Testament Bible scriptures written as far back as 3,000 years ago. So it definitely holds up that it's at least older than that. For anyone wondering, you can view the Pleiades pretty easily with a telescope or even binoculars. Just look off the right shoulder of Orion big red star called Betelgeuse. It's not a constellation. It's a star cluster. Edit. It's a star cluster as the stars formed from the same nebula and haven't had time yet to separate. In Maori, we call it Matariki, and it has recently been added as a public holiday in New Zealand. I hope you guys enjoyed your Matariki. Or the myths that we know of may have originated 6,000 years ago. Or 26,000. This article in 100,000 years is idle speculation. I just woke up from a nap and read this as a myth of Steven Seagal told throughout the world and its 100,000-year-old origin. Weird. There is a Bronze Age monument in my town in Ireland called the Seven Stony Sisters. Perhaps it's the same origin? Let me take a guess. You learned said information from the Overly Sarcastic Productions video on the Epics of Gilgamesh. In this area there's a group of teams called the Seven Sisters. Juve, Inter, Milan, Roma, Lazio, Parma, and Fiorentina. Asimov incorporated a similar idea into Foundation in Gaia, but it was 5 sisters surrounding the Gaian star. Is believed. Is highly controversial to the point it's regarded as bunk by mainstream anthropologists etc. The way we're going with light pollution, the vast majority of people can hardly see any stars now. Known to the Japanese as Subaru, which is subsequently what Subaru also designed its logo after. Ah, so that's why Stevenson's book is called 7 Eves. That finally clicked. Thanks. The book 7 Eves used this as some inspiration, I believe. Pretty good sci-fi book. Yes, I too watched OSP's new Gilgamesh video today, smiley face. Story's been around for 100,000 years and this is the first time hearing of it. You posted this due to Overly Sarcastic Productions' new video, didn't you? I was literally just watching OSP's video on the Epic of Gilgamesh lol. It is weird knowing the exact video that Hop probably learned this from. I too watch overly sarcastic productions and love to be a karma whore. I wonder if this is where the 7 heroines comes from in Bot Rock. Isn't the story of Jesus based on the movement of stars as well? Oral histories lasting millennia are one of my favorite things. I take it this isn't about the Symbol, Dove, Illustrial, etc. Is it this one?